All right, hello everybody. Thanks for tuning in to our webcast for Home Turf's Mainframe. We're really excited to tell you a little bit about the Mainframe in detail. I am, of course, Jens Anderson, the creative director on the project, and I am joined today by Jesse Scott, who is one of the systems designers.
Hello.
Jesse was responsible for a lot of the work that got done on the Mainframe, and he's going to be helping me walk you through it today. Before we do, some of you might have seen the video that we just put out giving some explanation or kind of like a little cool highlights of the Mainframe. You saw it, right?
Yeah.
Did they do your work justice?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Oh, pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good.
They had some nice dubstep in there. You know.
Okay. All right, so we're going to show you that before we get started in case you haven't actually seen it. Okay, here we go.
You've gained unparalleled power, incredible speed, and astonishing abilities. Now you're getting your very own base. Welcome to Home Turf, the latest chapter in DC Universe Online, where for the first time ever, you can create an incredible base for your hero or villain. The heart of your base is the Mainframe, an amazing new feature that lets you unlock powerful, upgradable devices and mods for you to use in combat. Your base's dispenser will provide you with the devices or mods needed to activate these features. Equip them to use in combat. New research mods will enhance your weapon or gear, providing an even bigger advantage over your opponents in combat. While supply drops will grant you critical healing and buffs when you need them most. Sometimes even a super-powered human needs a little help. Enter backup for heroes and henchmen for villains. Your new companions take on the theme of any base you own and fight bravely with you in battle. For those who like to keep their team a little tighter, there are also sidekicks and accomplices. In combat, your sidekick or accomplice packs more of a punch than your henchman or backup. These super-powered proteges will give any opponent a run for their money. And when the going gets really tough, call down a devastating bombardment with your Mainframe's orbital strike. With Home Turf, players will get more than just a space to hang their capes. The massive power of the Mainframe will change how you fight from here on. Get ready for more action in DC Universe Online's Home Turf DLC, coming soon.
Sony.
Oh, coming very, very soon, in fact. For those of you who haven't heard yet, we are releasing Home Turf on, let's see here, we are releasing Home Turf on January 29th on the US PC and PS3 and on the EU PC. We're also releasing the DLC in the EU for the PS3 the day after on the 30th. So the 29th for everyone except the US PS3, which will, or sorry, EU PS3, which will be on the 30th. So it's coming really soon. We're super excited about it. I don't know. I think that video does the Mainframe justice, but it certainly doesn't cover a lot of the nitty-gritty details, does it?
No, not really. There's a lot in there.
All right, so you're going to do that for us, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we've created a new, this is actually one of my characters, but Jesse is going to be driving here. This is Eel Milk. Probably seen him before. I haven't decorated this layer. We actually, well, I did a little bit, but we in the other room, I think. If you head over there, if you want to, go ahead and head in. Okay, cool. So we've got a little area set up over here, kind of a funhouse theme again. And Jesse's gonna use this sparring target and the Mainframe to kind of show you a little bit about what's going on here. So this is like starting fresh, right?
Yeah. This is basically like right after you picked up DLC 6, Home Turf, and you come into your lair, your base. You're gonna see this dispenser over here. This is what it'll look like. You got one item. You can pick up a dive hideout, just so you have that as an option as a legendary or DLC 6 owner. But then you wouldn't have all this room. So
I know, right? It ends right here, back at the door over there that you're looking at. And in fact, so this character has completed the quest or the mission that gives them their lair. but we do give you that dive hideout as an option. And that one, when you have a layer, if you put the hideout out, it's not a free-to-play hideout. It actually does have a mainframe in it.
Right, correct. Yes. So then you can come over here to the mainframe.
Next to my lovely clown head.
The first thing you'll notice, there's a lot of different traits here, and they have this required active cells. That is part of your generator.
Okay.
And these cells here are going to activate these bars across the top where it says active cells, and allow you to buy these traits.
So the generator is like, it's the power for the mainframe, and it goes up to different levels.
Right.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and replace cell 1, and then we can come back to the mainframe, and you can see now these are all highlighted, and you can purchase these.
Okay. So the gray, blue stuff is things that you have powered, right? And the things that are red are unpowered right now. So even if you owned them, you wouldn't gain access to them until you power the cell.
Right.
Got it.
Right. Yes. So let's go ahead and pick up these. First.
Yes. Let's get orbital strike. That is a good plan. Always a good plan.
Yes. I love the orbital strike. It's basically a supercharge without costing supercharge. So we picked up the first tier. We can now. That is going to supply our dispenser with the items used for the orbital strikes. So, orbital strike uplink device, you got all these different uplink devices. They're all connected to your satellite. It's flying around out there for you.
Okay, so the dispenser is actually connected to the mainframe.
Right.
The mainframe's where you do all the management for the abilities that you can unlock there, but you access those abilities through these devices you get out of the dispenser.
Correct.
Okay.
And each one of these has a set amount that you can carry, because you're only going to need one. They're dynamically checking your cell level in your mainframe and generator.
So they always know exactly, like basically it's just talking to the mainframe.
Yes.
And the mainframe knows what it's powered at, and therefore is calling in the orbital strike.
Correct.
Right. So it truly is a remote uplink device.
Yes.
To what's going on with the mainframe and therefore the satellite.
So you can purchase or dispense these here. They don't cost anything when they're on here because you've already paid for them on your mainframe. And then with the accomplice for villains, sidekicks.
So if you break your cell phone, you can get another cell phone and call your sidekick?
You can get another cell phone.
Okay, good.
Yes, because as you'll see, they have...
Because that might happen. I mean, people are throwing buses around in our game.
Right.
Cell phones and devices like this could get broken.
Yes.
No, not really.
Well, they have...
See, some people out there will take me too literally on that one.
True. They have decay times on them. So
Yes.
So it's going to last you for 3 days. And then you can come pick up another one.
Battle damage.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. But let's choose one of these with one-handed guys.
Okay.
And then you got Henchman is actually based on your layer as opposed to
which themes you've unlocked. Actually,
Yes.
let's kind of talk about that. So I see you only had one level of accomplice unlocked on your mainframe, but there's like how many versions in here?
Yeah, 11.
11 versions, which are matched to the weapons,
Weapon types, right?
And so I guess it's one for every weapon, and
Correct.
again, it's whichever device you pull out is how you determine what's going to get called in.
Correct.
That's kind of cool. So, okay.
And then the henchmen, they are attached to, like you said, the themes that you've unlocked for different layers.
Right.
Basically changes what they look like if they're. You had a video the other day where you showed the rock guys.
Yep.
Right.
The stone statues.
And so if we get the gothic.
Are you
guys,
watching
then-
my movies?
I did.
You're stalking me?
I saw it.
I'm flattered. Flattered.
So what that'll do then is actually give you, let's find the henchman. So we picked Gothic for these. So
I just noticed you showed everybody my dirty laundry. I mean, basically, I have some broken gear in there. I feel like you just looked in my hamper.
That's all right. They'll forgive you.
Okay.
So these are the Gothic henchmen, and the functionality would be the same. They look different based on your layer, but the functionality stays the same, except they might be a different weapon type.
Yeah.
But
damage out. They're really
is
just skins of each other, right?
Yeah.
And
Much like
just to be
things.
clear, go back to this dispenser for me.
Sure.
So I want to be clear about this. The sidekick or the accomplice,
Mhm.
which is the single guy that you come at, they'll be available with all the weapon styles.
Right.
The henchmen are available for whichever themes you have. In other words, if you back out of this right now and you look around, this is actually a Gothic lair, right?
Yes.
And you just called in your Gothic henchmen,
Right.
right? But if you go back in, you'll notice that even though you don't have a Gothic lair set up, you own the Deco lair,
Mhm.
so you can still use the henchmen from the Deco lair. I wanted to be clear with
Right.
everyone to make sure you understand the henchmen you call in, it doesn't matter which of your lair themes you have active right now, it just matters which ones you have the potential to activate, and you'll always be able to call in the henchmen that are themed after that if you want to. So
Correct.
you can mix and match in that sense.
Yes. Yeah. And let's see. So I wanted to show something about the mainframe
Okay.
cells before we up tier here.
All right.
Before we go and buy some more stuff. The generator, these are going to last 30 days.
Okay.
And then if you bought ionic cell, let's say at a different time than you bought the hydrogen cell, but the ionic cell depletes first, then it actually will turn off every tier above that.
Right.
Also, because there's this chain here. This chain has to stay intact.
Right. So you can't break the chain. You can't have a hydrogen cell active at level 3
Right.
or on that third cell, but without ionic being full.
Right.
Okay. Even if lithium's full, doesn't
Correct.
matter.
Correct.
Got it.
But you don't lose your time that you had on this still. As soon as you
Mhm.
replace the ionic, this is right back to working just as it was before. It's basically a slightly friendlier way of doing battery
Mhm.
placement than a TV remote,
Mhm.
because there you just lose all functionality. Right.
Do you know how many battery commercial jingles and mascots go through my head whenever I see the screen? I can't. It's been months too, and it's every time I see it, there's some.
Seen pink bunnies?
Yeah, those rabbits with drums and whistling.
Oh gosh.
Anyway.
So let's go ahead and you can see here it'll tell you that you can't buy past.
So you can't skip it either.
Right,
You've
right.
got to progress through it.
Right.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and buy.
Oh, you're going all the way up to
We're-
antimatter?
We're going.
I am shocked at how reasonable antimatter cells are on the open market in
It's,
DCUO.
Yeah.
$2,000, get yourself a portable antimatter cell.
No big deal.
Yeah, we've come a long way.
So you can see now that
The struggle against Brainiac has really benefited mankind in some ways.
yeah, it's all this stuff from the future, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can see you can buy anything from the second level now, but you can't yet boost them
Right.
because you don't have these second levels. So
Okay.
Right. So we'll go ahead and boost
I'm gonna
this
buy
up.
all those.
Yeah, and then we can get the first.
Let's
boost
talk.
going.
Let's talk about actually this upgrade section
All right.
first, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Unless you were going to get to that in a second.
No. Let's do it.
But so you can notice here that these there's one half of it is upgrades, right? Those are permanent.
Yes.
Once you spend the marks, which I think the first one is 25,
Yeah.
right, and then the second level is 125.
Right.
Once you buy all of those, the only thing you need to do to keep access to those is keep your generator cells up to ionic, correct?
Correct.
Now there's also on the right side, there's what we call boosts.
Right.
So you've got your accomplice up to level 2, which gives you the opportunity to boost it by one level. So let's talk about boosts versus upgrades.
Okay, so the boosts are going to have a cost of marks of triumph. That once you've spent that, you are basically just multiplying the power of,
Right.
of whichever thing, if it's accomplice, henchman, and they're going to gain more things. So the accomplice, let's say at tier 2, they'll have a chance to heal you, right?
Okay, yeah.
But at boost 1, they can also taunt enemies.
Okay, so they'll heal
have
and
like a pool,
taunt.
right?
Gotcha.
And if we double,
It's good for PvE.
right?
Yeah.
And if we
Not
double,
so much for PvP.
Eh,
No.
not really. Not really, but it is a pull. So
Yeah.
it can pull them away
Okay.
from you.
All right, good.
And then at level 2, boosted, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to also give power out.
Okay.
Not only that, they'll heal themselves double time because they kind of pack themselves in small little things.
Okay,
it
so
goes-
boost 1, boost 2, they basically kind of take the same ability at the level 2 area, and they kind of add a few things to it.
Yes.
Much like the difference between accomplice 1 and 2, but
Yes.
kind of on a different level, right?
Right. And so.
And also you forgot to mention they not only. Oh no, we're talking about accomplices, not henchmen.
Right.
Ooh, I'm stealing your thunder. I'll let you get there.
Right.
Okay.
Well, since you mentioned it, so once you start boosting henchmen, there's a different amount. So you get 2 henchmen at the first 2 levels. Once you boost, you gain a 3rd guy.
Right.
And so you're gonna have 3 of them going on.
Okay.
And then if you boost a second time, they're going to start flying.
Right. So 3 guys that fly.
They also start having a lot of CC abilities.
Cool.
And they'll be able to do block breakers.
Right. So that's like really, really cool, like hardcore stuff that they can actually do. Getting involved in the combat mechanics and things like that, you really start after paying attention to a level 4 guy. But what does it take to get it from boost 1 to boost 2? Let's say you wanted to get your henchman all the way up for 30 days at boost 2 level. What's it costing you?
So it would cost 3125 March Triumph to
Right.
get to boost 2, and it would be 625 to boost level 1.
So 3750 total, right? So
3750.
3,750 marks of triumph in order to get one of those all the way up to boost 2.
Right.
And when those 30 days expire, then the levels of boost decrease back down to henchmen to normal levels. They're no longer boosted, but you still have access to that uplink device as long as your cells are powered.
Correct.
Right.
And actually, there's a friendly thing with, if all your cells deplete and you still have one with you, you will still get a level 1 when you use it, so that you don't get nothing.
Yeah. Okay. So even without the lithium cell powered,
correct,
you get the permanent one that's at a level 1.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now,
got it.
That and that's why there's a 3.
So no matter what, even after you've unlocked it, not spending anything ever again in game, you'll always have.
You'd always have it for the 3 days that item is.
I
in
see.
Your
in order to dispense it, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Once you need to dispense another one, then you'd have.
I forgot about that.
Then you'd
That's
have
right.
to replace the lithium
Exactly.
cell.
Okay.
Yes. So, and the idea with accomplices and henchmen, they're very powerful, compared to other pets.
Mm-hmm.
So, these 2 are on the same cooldown group.
Yep.
So you're not going to
Can't pop one after the other.
Right.
Or at the same time.
And at the.
It's because they don't get along.
That would make sense.
You
actually,
know,
yeah.
It's like the accomplice is
They're
the
fighting for
older
attention.
brother, maybe.
Yeah.
Right. And then there's the 3 others, like up and coming.
Right.
These are the Marsha and Jans down here on the henchmen. No. I'm dating myself. Right? you probably don't even know what reference I'm talking about.
Oh no.
Like
no.
What?
Yeah.
Too much Brady Bunch?
Oh yeah.
All right.
It was reruns.
Rerun.
So, but at tier 1, right, or this level 1
Mhm.
accomplice and henchman, they are equivalent because they're just DPS. So they're actually doing the same as far as DPS. Then at level 2, since the accomplices are gaining extra abilities like
Mhm.
heals, the henchmen are just boosting up in DPS because that's all they do, right?
Right.
And it continues on, and so the henchmen are going to out DPS the accomplices and sidekicks as it goes on, but the accomplices and sidekicks, they're going to gain all these other abilities. So with supply drops and orbital strikes, talk about those for a second. As you start beefing these up, you're going to start getting, instead of just damage with the first level, you're going to gain damage, but it's also going to have a dot mechanic, like damage over time. And that's going to continue going where it starts gaining, you get debuffs, and people are rooted or they're grounded and stuff like that. And it's very
Actually,
very powerful stuff.
before we go too far deep into this, let's actually show them the accomplice and henchman in action. We showed the henchman a minute ago. Maybe we can pull up an accomplice here. Oh, again with my dirty laundry. I need to repair that stuff.
I'm not worried about it.
All right. So let's call up that accomplice. There he comes. Boop. Okay, and that's a. Did you do a level 2 or a level? Sorry,
level 4.
This is a boosted. Yeah. Boost 2. Okay, got it.
Yeah, he's double boosted. He's got.
And he'll attack your target. So as long as you attack, he'll get in there and do things. And you did the one-handed one. Of course, a range guy would be staying at distance using a bow and things like that. What kind of super abilities do these guys have?
So these guys, they'll have the taunt move, right,
Mm-hmm.
where they're pulling things in. That's kind of their super move. They stay a lot in melee range.
Yeah.
Because they're taunting and pulling things towards them.
Okay.
Right? The henchmen, if you pick a layer style that happens to have one where they were carrying pistols,
yeah,
they will
like the tech ones,
yeah,
right? Those scientist guys, they have pistols.
Then they'll stay at
ray
range.
guns. I like them.
Right. So you have that difference there,
okay,
where these guys like to get in the mix because they're trying to help.
So their tactics change.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's level 4.
All right, and then he pops away. He's gone now. And both of these, the 8 and 9 slot, are both on cooldown. One's the henchman, one's the accomplice, and you can see, as Jesse said, they're both on cooldown, so you won't be popping those. That's a long cooldown. How long is that cooldown?
That is 3.5 minutes.
3.5 minutes, people.
Yep.
Use it wisely.
Yeah.
It's like that level 1 potion you get in the game that you never use because you don't want to use it at the wrong time, so it sits there until it's no longer useful.
Yes.
Okay, well, don't take it that far, folks.
It's not that bad.
It's not that. Yeah, it'll come back eventually. Okay.
So, now that we've talked
Let's talk about the orbital strike and supply drop.
Yeah. So, supply drops are going to be healing you and anybody else that happens to run through. It basically lays down these little pods. We'll show one. How about we show one?
Yes, showing is good.
Alright. So, wherever you're at, you're going to gain these little...
Now, this is at level 2. It's not boosted.
Right.
So you're getting the 2 orbs coming down.
Right. And I'd taken damage, I'd be gaining some health right now.
What? So that was health and what?
Yeah, it was heal over time as well.
Heal over time.
Yeah. So, you start gaining power back from the boosted level.
That boost 1 gives you power as well as health.
Let's see. Yeah, where are we at? Restore power. And then over here, you also get a damage bonus.
Right. Okay.
With this one.
That one looks good. And then that's when 4 of them come down
Right.
all around you at that point. Each one's a different color representing the different stats that
Right.
they kind of buff and properties they buff, right?
Yeah. And then anybody else of your allies that runs through that same spot where you just laid that will get the same
Cool.
effect then, which is always good.
Group friendly.
It's down here on tactical mods.
Oh, we want to do strike?
You want to do strike?
Heck
We can do
yes!
strike.
I think people want to see orbital strike. And in fact, why don't you do just the non-boosted, the permanent, and then we can come back in a minute and show the boost level 2, how there's additional, strikes coming down on that one. That's kind of neat. This one's just single, I think. Boom! All right, there you go. So, big orbital strike. We'll let that go on to cooldown, and when we come back to that, we'll upgrade it, we'll boost it actually to level 2, and then show you how it's different.
Right.
Although I guess we could go into God mode here and just fire it off, but
Okay.
that's all right. We'll do it the right way. All right, so tactical mods. These are a little different than the others in terms of their progression,
Correct.
but still very cool.
Right. So, everybody's probably seen these extra slots showing up on their gear. These little white slots. There's ones for feet, neck, weapons, chest, hands, right? And they're wondering what they were for. Well, this is what they were for. So there are multiple mods that are going to be available at the dispenser when you buy these. The first level is weapons.
You want to show those in the inventory really quick? Even though I've been giving you crap about going into my
I
inventory.
didn't buy any. Let's go over.
No, I meant the slots in the gear.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So you can see right down there
Chest
below the
socket.
blue socket, it says chest socket. On the hands over here,
Hand
beneath the
socket.
red socket there, it says hand socket.
Right.
Those white sockets are what he's talking about.
Right. Actually, let's go ahead and pick
I'll
up
go get some.
the weapon. The weapon.
Doo-doo-doo. I think these things are really cool because they really added the way you want to combine them, which ones you pick, and how you combine the stuff, and what role you are. It's all really cool.
Yes.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah, a lot of these people will like because it will remind them of the Star and Spark weapons that were in the previous DLCs, but they'll be able to add it to whichever weapon they want. Here we go. So, bought this one. You have a chance to get additional power whenever you attack stuff. So, you can put that in your weapon. Oh no. Is this low level? Look at that.
I told you to
Look
change
at
it
that.
out. It's a dirty one, too. Go,
We need a high level weapon.
all right, we'll put it in the other ones. Do it in the neck and the, do I have a low level neck, too?
I gotta go by the next level, actually.
All right.
That's okay.
Well, we can,
I'll see.
no, we don't want to go, we didn't prepare the weapon. Sorry, our bad.
Yeah, that's my fault. Alright. So,
Actually, I'm going to go ask somebody to give me a DB
weapon ID?
entry on
Alright.
that, yeah. You know what? I can do it right here.
There we go.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Alright.
If you could see us now, on camera.
There's a couple of keyboards and mice
There's a few
here.
keyboards in front of us and mice, and all the cords are getting all tangled. And, all right, I'll try
Bear
and
with
find
me.
this info.
Bear with. Okay, so
Let's talk about the Brady Bunch some more. Tap dance.
Well, I just bought the second level, so now the neck mods are here, as well as you'll see that that made the weapon mods that were available level 2 versions.
Ooh.
Yeah, so now they're a little bit more powerful.
All right. Automatically, right?
Automatically.
Yeah.
It's just part of it.
And what would happen if you had one of the level 1s in your inventory when you upgraded your mainframe to level 2?
It would stay level 1.
Yeah.
But all you'd have to do...
slot over it.
Yeah, you can
right,
just put another one.
Doesn't matter.
No big deal. Just go pick one up from the dispenser.
Mm-hmm.
Redo it. So, let's neck mods. All right, so...
Here, you want a prime weapon? You want a prime weapon? Want to pick one of those?
All right.
I don't know which one is one-handed.
Oh, that's true.
It's okay. You can always just slot it in. Oh, it's a bow.
We got a bow.
Do we have the bow skill?
Maybe not. I can get the bow skill.
Negative.
All right.
Yeah, just get the bow. There you go. Fresh new character. Look at that. A whopping 16 skill points. None of them are even spent.
So, this has...
That's how we roll here in the office. That's how we
That's right.
PvP.
Oh, gosh.
14 skill points.
I hope not.
And we still rule. No. Here, let me
Yep.
get this out.
Yep.
Okay, back on track, right?
Untangled. Okay. So, we have this weapon mod now that we can put into there. And it asks you, hey, you can only do this once, becomes non-tradable. Same kind of stuff as the other mods. Boom.
All right.
For 3 days, we now can replenish power.
But now the cell in the mainframe is going to continue to be powered for the 30 days,
Correct.
and you can always go back after the 3 days when the mod gets worn out and it gets used up. You just go right back to your dispenser. You get another one, just pop it back in. You don't have to pay anything additional as long as this down here is active.
Right.
There will be mods in your dispenser.
Right. Yeah.
Of the appropriate type to the level.
Correct.
Yeah. What do the boosted modes do?
So, boosted modes are going to do same thing Tactical Mod 2 did for 1, where it made you get better levels of weapon ones.
Right.
It's going to do the same thing, only it's going to do it for Tactical Mod 1 and Tactical Mod 2, as well as place new mods in for the back.
Okay, so the boosted stuff makes these the ability to put these in your gear you wear on your character, not your weapon or your accessories. It's really like on your equipment, right? Chest piece, hands, gloves, boots, back, right?
Right. No back.
Oh, sorry, not
there's
back.
There's back. Back, feet.
Yeah.
Chest and hands. Yes. But at the same time, these two are also making.
Yeah, they stack on those previous
the first
ones,
two
right?
better.
Okay,
So
let's
you'll
take a look at that.
Yeah. We got that one. So you'll be able to see that now there are.
Dude, watch out for my knife target. Don't you cut yourself on that.
So down here now there are.
Okay, all this stuff is up to the
level
new
3
boosted
versions, right? They're all
Got it.
boosted, and as well as down here, you run into these new ones for back and feet.
Cool. All right.
And the feet ones, there's a kind of the idea that a lot of those are based around movement mode,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's a couple in there for, I believe, block. Different stuff that'll happen with block, like I think it was explosive block. Yeah, you have a chance to knock people way farther whenever you counter them, all kinds of stuff. There are a lot of these, right? And each time you boost, you get more.
It's really going to be up to you guys whether or not you want to use deadly block or explosive block. Both of those sound rather epic. Turning block into something very, very offensive there,
Yes.
I think. Deadly block! Explosive block.
Let's see, we're flying, right? So we could get a dive.
An exhilarating dive bomb.
Yeah.
It is fun to do.
Since that
you start running out of words at some point when you're making these games, right?
you do. Actually, naming things is probably one of the hardest things.
Yeah, because you can't repeat.
Yeah.
You have to keep everything so distinct.
Yeah.
So yeah, enjoy this mod. It's exhilarating, quite literally.
Something we recently did. We changed how many of these you can have. So
okay.
you can now have 4 of any one type of mod, so that you can put them on different gear sets.
Okay.
So if you had a PvP, a PvE slot,
Gotcha. Right.
whatever.
If you have different loadouts, you can stack these on multiple gear sets. So got it. Yeah.
All the uplink devices, you still only can have one, because really you only need one. It dynamically changes.
It's more of a trinket device than it is a something you'd slot into a specific piece of gear.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Cool. All right. Well, I think the only thing we didn't cover was permissions, right?
Yeah.
You want to cover that really quick?
Sure. So there's the other tab in here in the mainframe is permissions. You can add your friends. This is new. You can let them not only enter your base, but you can change whether or not they can move stuff around, or whether or not they can use your amenities, like your R&D station that you might get, or
so you could be a total jerk and allow people to come into your lair and be like, but don't touch my stuff.
Yes.
You could have this R&D vendor right in front of you. Please let me have permission. You can be like, no.
You can tell them to trade you some stuff first, right? Yes.
You make people pay you money to use your stuff if you want.
Sure.
Open it up on a per person basis. Now these permissions, are they per person, or are they per entry, or are they universal to your lair in general? I think people would want to know that.
So it's universal to your mainframe.
Yep.
Which is across your bases that you have, but it's per character.
Got it.
Right. So
wait, you're talking permission? I'm talking permissions right now, not the power and stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Same thing. Right, so you could say they're allowed to enter your base. Well, they could enter your base, whichever one of the bases.
Right, but you can set it up that your friend Paul can enter your base but not move items.
Correct.
But use amenities, and you can set it up so your friend Phil can enter your base, move items, and use amenities. Each one of those settings is on a per entry basis.
Yes.
Right, and now the generator you're talking about in terms of fuel cells and the mainframe abilities, if you get another deed and you have 4 layers running around, or 4 bases, they're layers, in this various cities, various locations, they all share the same mainframe. So all your efforts on your one character can go toward any and all mainframes in your layers.
Right. This is correct.
And the permissions can be set up per person basis, which is cool too.
Yes.
All right, so that's mainframe.
That is mainframe.
Nice.
I think we were gonna orbital strike this guy.
So how do you guys think it all turned out? You guys are really excited to see it go live.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Super excited. The tactical mods, I'm loving them. That's my favorite part.
What do you really think they kind of bring to the game?
A lot of it can either change the way you're used to playing, with stuff that adds like 25 precision or whatever. So if you're like, oh yeah, I want to stack precision, so I can stack it again. Or if some of them add to specific abilities that you might not have used before. So empowered channeling, for instance, takes any of the channel abilities and says, while you're doing this, it's no longer vulnerable to interrupt.
So your favorite is the weapon mods, the tactical mods.
Tactical mods.
Tactical
mods.
That's
definitely my favorite.
I have to say my favorite supply drop.
Yeah?
Yeah, well I'm kind of a tank at heart, so I kind of like having that bolstering boost that, like be able to stand there and weather the storm even longer, rather than obliterating the enemy in front of me. That's not really my job. My job is to take it. So the orbital strike, really, I like the orbital strike a lot. The supply drop a lot. That's my favorite. Boom. Well, that's pretty cool too. All right, you're winning me over on that one. I might have to change my mind.
I didn't buy up on that, did I?
Nope, too late. Oh, your sparring target survived. It's a tragedy.
I'm buying up.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and checking out our webcast. And what are you doing? Oh, you're god moding in here? You're going to do one more orbital strike?
Well, I told him we were going to.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, you can see the extra
Now he's on fire.
Hits right there. Oh, he's on fire. Now he's on fire even.
Yes.
All right, let's try that again. Do it again. Let's see if we can move and see the extra strikes coming down. So anyway, there you go. That is what's going on with mainframes. I want to let you guys know a couple of things. First of all, I'm happy to answer some questions for you guys. If you want to tweet me at Spittle, I'll be happy to field some questions for a little while and answer anything about mainframes. As Jesse's aware, I'll probably be running over to you once in a while going, dude, what's the answer to this?
That's right.
Everyone thinks I'm this encyclopedia of knowledge. They have no idea.
Well,
you guys are my
I asked you
outboard brains.
about DC, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, that's true. All right, well I got you on the capes and the underwear and the outside part, but you got me on numbers. So anyway, tweet me at Spittle. I'm happy to relay any questions to the team and field them for you, or just answer them if I know them. I did want to mention a couple of things. First off, you can tweet us or follow us at DC Universe Online, or on Facebook, DC Universe Online. And you can also go check out our website, www.dcuniverseonline. There we go. I wanted to let you guys know, tomorrow we're doing another live stream, and it's going to focus on PvP lair battles, which are the new one-on-one battles that we're doing in Home Turf. So join us tomorrow for another live stream, and we're going to have devs on PC test to actually take on players, and I'd like to try and do that during the live stream.
Yeah.
So come on during the live stream and be on PC test, battle each other in the lair battles, and you might just jump in and get on in a match with one of the devs and get on the stream here. So come join us tomorrow and be prepared to do a cool event with the devs during and after the live stream where we can PvP against us. So thanks again for coming to check it out, and we really are excited to get this out there on the 29th for everything but EU PS3, which is on the 30th. You're going to be getting Home Turf very soon. Again, tweet me at Spittle. Happy to answer your questions. Thanks so much again for coming by and checking it out, guys.
Thanks.
And thanks a lot, Jesse, for helping us out and showing us all about the mainframe stuff.
No problem.
All right.